Okay, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good evening.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
So we already have our moderator here and our speaker, moderator Mr. Nabil and also Mr. Puspa Joshi as the moderator. Please, Brother Nabil, you may start.
Okay, Mr. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to our meeting tonight. My name is Nabil. I will be a moderator for this night. As first, before start, I will share the rundown first. First, we have opening at 7:30 Indonesian time. Then, I will be greeting you all. Then we have the presentation. After that, we have the Q&A session. After Q&A, we have breakout room time. There are 2 breakout room times. After that, taking photo and choosing a new moderator and presenter. Following the rundown and without saying much, before start the presentation, I will share the Mr. Puspa Joshi CV. Wait. Aduh. Nah, Puspa Joshi. He was a social worker. He born in Nepal but lived in US. A social worker worked for a refugee resettlement against the International Institute of England. Just sharing this knowledge from the book. He wants to present the emotional intelligence 2.0 by Travis Bradbury and Jean Grease. Sharing the knowledge by Dr. Puspa Manjoshi. Education history, he have a highway engineering degree from Tongji University. And then have a PhD degree from Ohio State University. Following the rundown and without saying much, I just invite Mr. Puspa Joshi to present. For Mr. Puspa Joshi, time and place are welcome.
Yeah, thank you. Welcome everybody. My name is Puspa Joshi. You already saw my background, education background and work background. Now I like to share the file. Can I share the file?
Yes, you can.
I don't see there. Well, mention.
There is a share screen button in the middle if you see.
Yeah, that's what I'm looking for. Usually I see there, but here, what happened? Let me see. Okay, I'm not getting the share button here. Oh yeah, I saw now. That's good. Thank you. Okay, now. Sorry, that's not the wrong file. Just 1 second. Okay, can you see the file? Emotional hijacking.
It's
Yes.
about what social awareness looks like, isn't it?
Yeah, so, yeah, just a second. You know, these are new things always gets. Okay, let me start. First of all, thank you, Mr. Dennis, and thank you, Diane, who is the teacher in our platform. I will talk about my platform later. We run 7 days a week, 90 minutes every day. We have native and non-native teachers. That's how I met Diane. She and Rindu teach every alternate week. So you can ask Deanne also about that. That's 7 days a week. Okay, now I'm going to talk about emotional intelligence. I should tell you a little bit background how I started to read the book. Can you see that? Right?
Yes.
Yeah. So okay. What happened is that I work in Manchester, New Hampshire, not Manchester, United Kingdom. So our head office is in Boston. So one month we had many refugees arrived, and we were swamped with our duties. But Boston people came to visit and asked, "What do you need?" So I was not happy. I just told them that, you see that usually we have 18 people coming, but we got 48 people arrived in 1 month. You didn't add people, but we had to work overnight or sometimes weekend. But the way I talked was not nice. So my director at the site was unhappy. He told me that you deserve to be fired from job, okay? And then after 2 minutes, the human resource director, her name is Elizabeth, she asked me, "Puspa, do you have 2 minutes?" I said, yes. And she took me to a room and told me that you are honest, sincere, but the way you told me or told us, that's not correct. So what you need to do is, I will buy a book from Amazon, I will mail you. Read that book. So she sent the book. After 2 weeks, I was really busy, but I read. I'm not a good reader, but because she gave me as a gift, so I read one time. Probably I understood only 25%. Then later, during COVID, I lost my job. Then I started to read it, and then I got interest. And so in my English platform, I started to talk a little bit about each chapter. And then I also sometimes started to give presentation, short presentation. Now, emotional intelligence, we should start from emotion. Is there anyone who wants to define emotion? Can someone volunteer?
Can I?
Yeah.
Mr. Puspa Joshi.
Yeah.
Okay. My name is Hedi Martin. And I think since I'm arranging thesis and it is related to the emotion. So based on what I researched, emotion is tends to be irrational. You don't use logic. You don't use your rationality, but you rely on affection, your self affection, feelings, or something that what I can say that close to you in your heart.
Yeah. So simply one word, what is emotion? Emotion is feeling. So we have feeling, that's emotion. But Professor Goldman, who is a renowned psychology professor, he gives a little more definition. But we are talking today about EQ. EQ is just emotional intelligence, because they got EQ from emotional quotient. So that's why IQ is intelligence quotient and emotional intelligence is emotional quotient. So the abbreviation looks like incorrect, but that's true. So right now, if you Google, almost every day they talk about EQ. That's emotional intelligence. Now, it talks about IQ, how people get IQ. they get, ask questions, and they also use their aid. So that's how they give you assessment how your IQ is. Okay. Now, why we are talking about emotion, we will come about that. First thing, we also talk about personality. What is personality? It shows that, person character, but more over that introvert or extrovert. Someone just likes to sit in the room, nobody, she doesn't like to be bothered by anyone, even his or her siblings. She doesn't want to talk, so introvert. Or extrovert who likes to go out, talk with people. So that's our character. And now, as I said before, this book, somewhere it's controversial. What it means is that the authors may agree, but we may not agree, right? Because some of the things are changing. But what I am presenting is from the book. So it was published 25 years ago, but a lot of things are still useful. Now, emotion, you see that any agitation or disturbances of mind, feeling, passion, or vehement or excited mental state, right? Now, Dr. Goldman gives one more thing, right? Does anybody want to read, volunteer this Dr. Goldman definition?
Mr. Puspa Joshi, it seems that your screen doesn't show about what you say, because in our screen, it shows about what social awareness looks like.
Oh, okay, sorry. That's what I was asking you.
Yeah, it doesn't show about what you said, unfortunately.
Yeah, I clicked the wrong
file.
this.
Yeah. Now, importance of emotions, is it?
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
So can anyone read Dr. Goldman's definition? Who wants to volunteer?
All right. May I?
Yeah, okay.
Mr. Yudi, go ahead, Mr. Yudi.
No, Mr. Febri, keep continue.
Mr. Febri already closed the video, so it's your turn then.
Okay.
Okay, let me try.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you, Dr. Puspa. Meet you again. Dr. Goldman, feelings and its distinctive thought, psychological and physical sets, and range of propensities to act. There are many emotions, more than we have words for them.
Yeah, okay, that's good. So I am asking to read because this is speaking class, and speaking is closely related to reading. So in our English platform, Roji always asks us, read 10 minutes every day, then your speaking ability will be increased. So I am also asking to read. At the same time, we don't see the pictures. Sometimes people just in the Zoom class, maybe busy with something, whether people are listening or not. So that's one way to check. Okay, now, do we need emotions? Yes, of course, very important. Why? Because it guides us. When we have trouble, it helps us, right? And it also tells us that feeling counts every bit as much as often more than thought. For better or worse, intelligence can come to nothing when the emotions hold sway. So when you are very emotional, your intelligence level is 0. You cannot see, you cannot hear, nothing. You are just act from there, right? Now, I am just wanted to, I'm going to show you something. Okay, February, you want to read this?
All right.
Yeah.
Okay. Anyone can become angry. That is easy. But to be angry with the right person to the right degree at the right time for the right purpose and in the right way. This is not easy.
Yes. So it shows that emotions are very, very important, right? We must have them. If we don't have emotions, we cannot live. But we need to be able to understand them and manage them. So we cannot eliminate two things: understanding emotion and managing them. Now, how many types of emotions? Can anyone answer? Someone
Sorry,
volunteer.
question?
How many
Hello?
types of emotions?
I forget the inside out.
Okay, so yeah, just guess.
I only think 5. Yeah, right, 5.
Yeah, so you see, happy, sad, angry, afraid, and ashamed. But that's
Yeah,
not
only
true. That's not true, because psychologists, they want to analyze the results. They group into 5. Some books grouped into 6. But actually, can you see that how many emotions? You see, one thing I just compare with color. Rainbow color, we said 7 colors, right? But how many colors we can get from 7? 200, 300. When we use computer now, print out 256 colors we can choose, right? Same thing, mixed reaction. I like to give one example. If you win the lottery, you should be excited, very happy, right? Not necessarily. It depends upon the culture. In my country, if I win a lottery, and then what happens? My relatives would come to congratulate me, and next day they will tell me, I need to borrow some money. Can you give me? So if I don't give, they will be upset, and there will be many people asking money. So I talked to Roji. In my country, when people win the lottery, they are in trouble, actually. Yeah. So in Europe, Roji told me that what happens is that the minute you win the lottery, you will get in mailbox charity asking for money, cancer, or diabetic association, every day. So your mailbox will be full. So what I'm trying to tell you is that sometimes it's not single emotion, mixed emotion. Now, I'm going to talk about emotional hijacking. So I have another book. This is Dr. Goldman's book. I'm not a good reader, but because this is psychology, I read that. I will talk in the future, but I already mixed some of the chapters from this book. He has given many stories. He was, a newsletter editor, and then he became psychologist. So he gives a lot of stories, and one story he wrote is that there was a student. He got 80 out of 100 in a quiz, physics quiz. Out of 100, he got 80. He took 18-inch knife, went to the teacher in high school, physics teacher, and they subdued him, arrested, took him, right? Why? He had a dream to be a Harvard University student, and he had all A or A plus, nothing B, C, D. But in his physics quiz, he got 80, and he took a knife and went to look for the teacher. Later, he was, released because he told the judge that I was not going to hurt the teacher. I was going to hurt myself. But here it means that, is he smart or not? What do you think? He always gets A plus, but he got 80 and he went with an 18-inch knife. So What do you think? Do you think he's smart or not? Do you understand my question?
Understand.
Yeah. So,
But
yeah. What it means is that nowadays we are changing the word meaning of smart. Why? Now I'm coming down to that point. Why we are changing that point? Because if you get 100 out of 100 in the exam, or in SAT 1600, you get 1600, ACT full score, he's the smartest guy. Everybody, right? College entrance, you did wonderful, they enroll you. And then university scholarship, you get that if you have a high mark. But what happened? These authors went to different countries and they did research, asked people. And what they found is that the people who are supervisors are making progress, not those who got high IQ, but those who have high EQ. It means that, now think about that, a rocket scientist, right? He sends a rocket to the moon, and when he comes back home, his son and daughter are arguing. Then he calls his wife, "Hey, Jennifer, come down. They are arguing. Can you deal with them?" Now, rocket scientist, he is brilliant guy. He has high IQ, but when it comes to emotional, he cannot control. Even his one son and daughter, he cannot do anything. He asks his wife for help. What it means is that he has low EQ. So we know that some math and science teacher, they are so good in math. The minute they see the problem, they can solve quickly. They have high IQ, but we know that some teachers are disliked by students. Why? Because they don't have EQ. They have high IQ, right? Now, why this book is here and why we are discussing? So IQ, now I told you that controversial. Why? Because some advertisement I saw that if you take some tablets, your IQ will go up, right? But this book tells us that IQ is always same. Obama was a student, law student, lawyer, president, past president. His IQ never changes. Your IQ doesn't change. My IQ doesn't change. You cannot change because when you were born with some IQ, that's it. How about personality? So you are introvert or extrovert, it's fixed. Now, what you can do is EQ, improve your EQ. Of course, it's very difficult. Why? We in Nepal, we have a saying, if you put the tail of a doll in the pressing machine, you put 12 years in the pressing machine. Once you take out the machine, the tail goes back to its normal position. So what it means is our habits, once we have a bad habit, it's very, very difficult to change. But this EQ, improving our EQ, is changing our habits, manners, behaviors. Now, okay, can you put mute? Okay. Yeah, okay. Now, as I said that what happened is that they did survey, and then for being a supervisor, you want to be a better supervisor, you need to have high EQ. And they did survey, and many of them found that those who have high EQ, they are better supervisors. But at the top level, big company executives, they don't need to be high EQ. They cannot explain why, but there are 1,000 employees, but the top one may not have the high EQ, but middle level supervisors, they need to have EQ, high EQ to be a better supervisor. Now, when I was presenting this in my office, I told that, okay, if you read this book, you will be a supervisor. You are already a supervisor, and you want to be a supervisor, read this book, and it will help you. Now, why is that? Now, this book tells, it has 4 chapters. You see, in the flyer you posted, it has the name of the book and the author's name, right? So you can go to the library, and my brother-in-law who was studying in Delhi, he said, oh, I can go to the library and print out by myself. So he printed out. I think he didn't even buy the book. So it has 4 chapters. First chapter is self-awareness. Okay, I'm doing fine with the time. Okay, we need to check also. So self-awareness. What is self-awareness? Accurately perceive emotions, events. So what it means is that if you want to be a better supervisor, you need to know your own emotion. So what it means is that we will go, I will go down and talk about that. So it means that knowing yourself, what triggers your emotion, that's self-awareness. Then second one is self-management. That is very important. Knowing yourself, your emotions is important. More important is self-management. If you can manage, then you are successful. If you cannot manage, even if you know your emotion, that's not enough, right? So third one is social relationship. It's totally different from self-awareness. Self-awareness is just learning your emotion. But social relationship, when you go to the classroom, you pick up students' emotion. That is important to be a better supervisor. Okay, so 2 things. One, learning your own emotion, and the second one, third chapter, but it talks about learning other people's emotions. And then last one is you met someone here, you like that, okay, or Dennis, and I want to have better relationship with him, then what should I do? It talks about, so first chapter, it has 15 tips. Second chapter, 17. Third chapter, 17. Fourth chapter, 17. Altogether, 66 tips. So if we can follow and learn, not 66, even 20, it would be really good for anyone who wants to be a supervisor. Now, some of them we know that, because in our daily life, we are experienced. If we are children, we may not know, but we are adults, we work, we went to college. So those 66, maybe 15, 20, we already knew them, but other we can learn. Now I am going to go down and give you example, what the book suggests, okay? Self-awareness. How do you do that? So we know that if we are really angry, what happens? Some people have red face, and some even stutter, right? And dry mouth, right? And some people move their hands, fingers. So our emotions are reflected in our body through some way. And if you learn that, then you know that, okay, I'm now angry. I need to control that. I might be yelling at my student. I'm the professor. I shouldn't do that. So learn your emotions, right? And one other way is right now, we can take 2 minutes break and everybody can do that. Okay, last week. So one thing I want to tell you, we already went through all the emotions. When we talk about emotions, we often talk about anger. No, shyness, right? You see, you are really good at writing a proposal or you are writing a paper. And when it comes to presentation, what do? Oh, no, I cannot stand in front of people. I want, one second, sorry. We have tornado warning. That's why they are giving us warning in this area. Okay, so what happens? You wrote the project, you finish everything you did, and when it comes to presentation, you are very shy. You don't want to stand in front of public. Of course, your director wouldn't promote you in the higher position because you are always shy. So that's one emotion, right? So keep the journal and look them. You will come to know your weaknesses. Other one is that seek feedbacks. Ask people, your friends, your relatives, or neighbors. You ask them, hey, sometimes you ask your subordinates, they may not tell you. You are the director, how can I tell you that your behavior is bad? You might retaliate, right? If you are a bad guy, so no one would tell. So you can ask people who will not be afraid of you. So that is self-awareness you can get from yourself or from other people. Now, there are something, second, self-management. How do you manage? So I like that one, breathe right. While we are listening, I'm talking, everybody is breathing. Then why it says breathe right? What it means is that the book talks about that, our brain is very small as compared to whole body, but 80% of the oxygen goes to our brain. So if you are working and when you take a break, deep breath for 2-3 minutes, maybe 4-5 times a day, what happens? Because you have enough oxygen and it goes to your brain. Like when our eyes are blurry, we cannot read. Same thing, if we don't have enough oxygen in our brain, we might be making wrong decision. That's why they asked the authors, because two authors wrote the book, they asked us to breathe right. Now, one other thing is make your goals public. So there is a professor, he asked his 3 friends, he tells his 3 friends, I will give you $100 each if I am late to submit my project, okay? Now, because if he is late in his project, he will have to give $300 to 3 friends. So he was never late because he doesn't want to give money to his friends. But it looks like a joke, but it's true that if you tell yourself, I will do from tomorrow this and that, you might not do anything. But if you tell 3 friends, okay, I'm going to write a poem, and once you make it public, you feel like obligated, right? So now about social awareness, I told you that social awareness is very important. Now I want to give you one example. How many minutes left? Almost done?
Yes, it is actually almost like 5 more minutes, if you don't mind, probably.
Okay, 5 minutes, I'll go quickly. So greet people by name. So when you meet people, greet people by name, right? So it makes difference when you say, hello, how are you? Instead, Dennis, Mr. Dennis, how are you? Or, someone, Mr. Henning, how are you? So if you like to be a nice person, not just say hello, greet by the name. Now, second one, make timing everything, okay? So make timing everything is that you have been thinking to ask your supervisor, I need more money. I have been working hard. And you waited, and then finally you decided this Monday I will definitely ask for a raise. I'm getting low, less money than other people. But you went to talk to the director. He just came admitting his son at the hospital. Okay. Now his mood is bad, right? So you ask him, I want more money. That's not the right time, right? He will not be happy because he's stressed out. So what it means is that we need to think about timing. Okay. Now I want one example. It's like there is a meeting, everybody is waiting, and one of the guys has some financial crisis. So he told the people, and everyone was sad because he's in trouble. And the supervisor comes and he starts meeting as usual, telling a funny story. No one was smiling or laughing. What happened? The timing. He used to tell funny stories in every meeting, but this time the mood was not good, but he was still telling the joke. So we need to think about timing. Last one, relationship building. I like to talk about that a little bit. What it means is that you meet people, you want to have a close relationship. You ask, how are you? And then talk a little bit about, where do you live? How far you drive to work? You ask people, but when he or she asks you, you are hesitant to answer. That doesn't work, right? You want to make a friend, be open. If you don't want to tell somebody, why do you ask, right? What is your degree? When you were in college, what did you study? And she told you biology, and she asked you, what did you study? And you talk about son, daughters, and you try to evade. So be open and be curious. And if someone tells you that I'm a painter, I paint, and what type of painting, or natural or animals? So if someone has a hobby, you are curious about what he does or she does. That way you will be able to make relationship. Okay, so I think time is gone. So last, you can read that. 2 people, everybody can read 2 minutes, okay? Last 2 minutes. So there are 2 supervisors. One is Alfonso and another is Craig. Look at the remarks their co-workers gave them. One, you see, he's good at reading emotions, who can adjust, manage it, and he's very good. And what about others? The other one, don't allow other people talk about their ideas. He's impatient, and before he understands what his co-workers talking, he started to talk, not even listening. No, you want to be a good supervisor, you need to listen. You need to have a patience, okay? Thank you. Okay, now time is up, and it's a series of lessons, but this is the introduction. In case anyone wants to continue in the future, you can tell me, like 4 chapters, I can have 1 chapter, just self-awareness. I can have 30 minutes in my platform. You can join, I will open, or in this platform, because mine is anytime. This one is once a week. So please let me know. I will post my, let me see. Let me put my, okay, sorry. Okay, now, okay, go ahead.
Mr. Puspa Joshi, sorry, the time is up. I have to go to the next station.
Okay, go ahead. Sorry.
Okay, the presentation was end, and now we have the Q&A session for who wants to ask. For who wants to ask can use chat or raise hand. Okay. Okay, Miss Iren was raise hand. Unmute your audio and ask the question.
Okay, thank you, Nabil. Hi, Mr. Joshi. My name is Iren. I have a question. If you need to rank the book from 1 to 10, where will you recommend this book to us?
Oh,
From
no.
1 to 10.
So, okay. If you are doing research in the university, I'm sure that in the library, you may be able to get that, because my brother-in-law was doing his PhD. He just finished and he has the link to the library, and he said, I can print out. That is one. If not, then you can borrow from the library. You don't have that connection. You just go to the library and you can get that. You have the title and you have the author's name, Travis Bradbury and Jean Greaves. So you just go and you borrow. And if you want to buy, sometimes you may be able to buy, somebody return the book for sale, and you might be able to get cheaper price. Now, I got this book from my director of human resource from Amazon. So you may get from Amazon also.
No, I mean from 1 to 10, in which rank you will recommend this book to us, to the people who are joining this Zoom meeting?
Oh, you mean this book? It's all about your passion, okay? Now, some people, now I want to tell you something. In my platform, couple of ladies stopped coming to the English class. I didn't know that. And then Roji, our teacher, told me that, they have family problem and, husband and wife fighting or something. So she stopped coming, and one after another. So I thought that, if I can learn a little bit about psychology, about couples relationship, and not really counseling, but can give some tips. So if you are interested to be a better supervisor, I will recommend 8, 9. So it depends on your time and what do you do. But one thing I want to tell you, that everybody is supervisor if you are married. Sometimes husbands are supervisor for wives and wives are supervisor for husband. So you have children, you supervise your children, right? So you want to be a better supervisor, this book is good. Not just 8, 9, 10. You can go for 10. Did I answer your question?
Yeah, kind of, but okay. Thank you.
One thing, it may be there in Indonesian also. This book, I heard that they translated into many. So your English is good, you can read English book, but those who have trouble in English, they should be able to find in Indonesian also. Any other question? I'm more than...
Thank you. Okay, thank you, Mr. Josh.
Okay. Okay, Mr. Dennis was raised hand. Unmute your audio and ask the question, please.
Thank you, Mr. Nabil. So thank you for Mr. Joshi. I'm sorry I don't turn my camera on because my son is actually sleeping
okay.
by my place. Not exactly next by me, but I'm sorry, I just used my avatar. So it's such an interesting topic when you mention about social intelligence by Daniel Goleman. It reminds me, I knew this book when I was in university, when I learned about the leadership training at that time. And my question to you is talking about the emotional intelligence. So when people actually, in your opinion, as after you read the book, do you think that all anger is wrong, or is there any moment that we actually can be angry? And if we can be angry, in which session or everything is wrong? What do you think with that? Thank you.
We need emotions. We need emotion, anger, fear, shame. If there is no shame, we will be talking now in this class without waiting for anybody, right?
Yeah.
People are ashamed of, and then fear, right? If you don't have fear, then when snake comes near to you, you'll be just watching. You don't run away. So that's where it is. First it tells that, do you remember that Aristotle, that is what it is talking about. Aristotle, it tells us that anyone can become angry, that's easy, but to be angry with the right person, right degree, it's very necessary, but it's very difficult. So anger is important. Sometimes in the office, like you see football, right? In America, we call football different from other countries. But now even soccer, you lose the halftime, and some, coach bring all the players and he shows his anger. And after that, everybody plays very well and they won the match championship. Anger work, right? Not all the time. You don't yell at, because sometimes anger is bad because you yell at your daughter, and the daughter will go to your small brother, and she will be yelling at her brother because she cannot fight back dad. So that anger is not justified, because my dad is angry with me, so I can yell at my little brother. You see, immediately, dad wants to train his daughter, so he showed some emotion. That's fine. But because the dad is angry, and then she goes to little brother and vents anger, that's not correct, right? So yeah. Did I answer your question?
You did, but just my last question. So Aristotle said that to manage the angriness is not easy, because you need to be angry with the right person, right degree, at the right time for the right purpose. So how do you manage your anger? I mean, I remember there is an American movie about anger management. I forgot who's the actor, but if I may ask you the question, you gave the example about football coach where because he's angry, so the football team can be better. But let's talk in general. In your own opinion, what is the best way to manage our anger so we can be angry at the right person, to the right person, to the right place, and the right time? What do you think with that? Thank you. That's last.
So this book, all fourth chapter, first chapter is all about self-awareness. That is very important. So you want to do something. Now, I give example. You want to go somewhere, you call the airlines, I want a ticket where I want to go to London. First thing they ask is, where do you live? From where you fly, right? Without that, they will not sell you ticket. I want to go to London. You call the travel agency in Washington. Hey, where do you live? From where you want to fly? I will tell from Boston. So origin and destination. Now, you want to go to destination, you need origin, same thing. You want to be a better person. So first you need to learn where you are. That's why first chapter, self-awareness. Learn what triggers you. We sometimes make mistake. I have a neighbor, he wears red jacket and he has all long hairs, and he always bothers me. And I'm working at a store, and the minute I see a guy, large body with red t-shirt and then hair, long hair, emotions comes out, right? But he's not your neighbor. He looks like your neighbor, but emotions that comes out. So that's why okay, now I am wrong. He is, even if he is my neighbor, there may not be a good reason. So that's why we need to know where we get the anger, or where we get what triggers or what pushes our button. Once we know, okay, this is the way we need to learn, we need to correct, right? Did I answer you? First thing is that, we need to know where, and they call it the button that pushes you, So that is where 16 and 15 tips in that book. If we go through all 15 and we work on that, it takes long time, but once you learn all 15 tips, you will be a better person. I think so. Any question?
Yes. Okay, Mr. Kaifa was raised hand. Unmute your audio and ask the question, please.
Okay, thank you so much. So my question is it necessary to use your emotion in an argument or when you are trying to decide something? For example, let's say that you have a job interview and you are walking to the interview room, and then you saw a fish that jumped out of the fish tank, and if you use your emotion, you're gonna think that, oh, I have to put the fish back on the fish tank because otherwise the fish will die. But in the other side, you will be late for your interview. So my question is it important to use your emotion and when you're deciding to do something, or when you are in an argument?
Okay, I will not answer directly, okay, but I want to give you example. IQ and EQ. I just read 1 week ago article. It says that if we have two-way transportation, like in the street, one-way, two-way. So we have two centers. There are many centers, but we assume that two centers, right? One center is IQ. Like you want to buy a house, you cannot buy just looking, oh, that's a big house I want to buy. You need to see inside. And more than that, you have children in that nearby. Is there a bank? Is there a school, good school for your children, right? And what is inside? You need to see the decoration inside, everything. So it takes time, right? So you cannot answer immediately. So those are IQ questions. EQ, there is a tsunami coming, or there is a fire, or in Indonesia you have, lava. It's everything. Yeah. What do you do? Sorry. Can you hear me?
Yeah, sure. I can.
Yeah. So one is brain center where we need to answer immediately. We don't have time to think that. So sometimes the experience work. If you are experienced, you already have answered there. So if something happens, right, what to do? But it also depends upon cost benefit analysis, right? If your job is you are looking for a job, if you don't have a job, it will be very difficult to leave. Then maybe job is priority, right? But you have one job and you want to have another job, but there are compassion towards fees, then maybe your value, that's what we are talking about, value. What is your value? Each person has different, right? Animals, some people don't care animals, stray dogs, and there are people who collect stray dogs and bring to house and spend hundreds of dollars to treat them. You see that? So what is your value? You, based on your value, you make decision, right? Yeah. Thank you. Any other question?
Thank you so much for your answer.
No
Dr.
problem.
Puspa.
Okay, I think no question. Yeah, right. Okay.
Okay, thank you for the opportunity to give a presentation. In the future, I would be willing to talk about some other. Now we just went brief introduction of the book, but if someone is interested just to learn self-awareness or self-management, I'm willing to come back. Thank you for the opportunity, Mr. Dennis and teacher Dia, and all the, Asif, right? Asif, who sent me message to the WhatsApp, and it's nice. So we are going to the breakout room, right?
Okay. The Q&A time was done now. We have the breakout room season. For this season, I invite Mr. Dennis to take over.
Thank you,
Mr.
Mr.
Dennis, just place time and place are welcome.
Awesome. Thank you, Mr. Nabil. And previously, of course, for Mr. Joshi. Okay, before we move to the breakout room, let's hang on. Let's take a group picture first. So if you may turn your camera on, or if you have your, if you want to turn on the camera or everything, you may. Yeah, okay. Let's take a group picture. 3, 2, 1. All right. Thank you. Okay, so now we are going to the hang on. We are going to the breakout room as usual. So you will be in the breakout room, especially for some new participants. I think there are some new participants such as Miss or Mr. Natadwi, Mr. Agung, Miss or Mr. Gazia, Miss Zizi, Miss Kia, I believe. So what are we gonna do now? We are going to be in the breakout room, and you are going to talk about, you can talk about the social intelligence, or you can talk about anything with your partner. And it will be about 15 minutes each. You can talk about anything with your partner, and I will create the breakout rooms for you. We have 22 participants. Okay. So, yeah. All right. Wait. Just a moment. Oh, I need to have, okay, wait. I need to have 11 breakout rooms. Just a moment. Hang on. All right, let me say the names. In room 1, there will be Mr. Brother Nabil and Miss Zizi. Room 2, there will be Miss Henning and Mr. Herdi. Room 3, there will be Mr. Agung and Miss Iren. Room 4, there will be Mr. Acep and Mr. Puspa Joshi, the speaker tonight. Room 5, there will be Mr. Febri and also Miss Natadwi. In room 6, there will be Miss Haura and Miss Teona Aisha. Room 7, there will be Miss or Mr. Garcia with Mr. Mad. Room 8, there will be Aisha Nabila and I cannot read that Russian, but I believe it's Altamis.
Yes,
Room 9 is Mr. Kaifa and Miss Kia. And room 10, Miss Mami Malona and Mr. Toy Kamadan. You will talk in the breakout room for 15 minutes. And it begins now. Did somebody leave?
Yeah.
You were with Mr. Acep. What happened to him? Did he leave you, or what happened?
I don't know. I waited. I also call him, and then he left. Maybe internet problem.
It seems
I
like
saw
that.
him. Yeah, I saw him and waited about 3-4 minutes,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
then I call him. So,
Yeah, because I saw actually he's doing something else, so probably he's not there. So I'm sorry, I thought that he's there. So I'm gonna accompany you here in the breakout room.
good, wonderful.
Yes.
So okay, please provide me feedback.
It's good. It's good, sir. I mean, like, you presented about the book. Probably, if I may give you feedback, and some people also interested to ask you questions, right? So there are like what 3 questions from the audience ask you. Probably, if I may give things that you may improve. That's actually a great idea when you ask people to read, but somehow some visuals people, they probably need like PowerPoint or something like that, because to read from Microsoft Word for some people, it's kind of hard. If although I know your aim, you said that because
So I went to Mirna's platform and I asked someone to read, and she explained that no, some people are shy, and when it happens, you know, it's like insulting. I don't know how to read. You ask me to read. So now what I did is ask to volunteer. That way, you don't force someone to read, right?
Yeah.
So those who can read, read. But actually, in my platform, what we do is that when we have a teacher, so the teacher reads the paragraph, and then the participants read the paragraph, and then she will make comments. So if now, since the teachers are native teachers, and they will tell you that the pronunciation is not correct, or how we pronounce, and now we have British teacher, and we also have American teachers. But the British teacher, who has been teaching for 43 years, she knows all American system, so she points out, this is British way, this is American way, this is common, both common. So pronunciation and vocabulary. So we do have vocabulary. Now, this platform is really good for making progress. You are talking about speaking. Did you hear about that Toastmasters club?
I joined the Toastmasters back then when I was still in university student back then, 2010 or 2011, I believe. I joined the Essential Toastmasters. That's what it says in Jakarta. So.
Oh, okay. I joined in 1986 or 88, something like that. Yeah. At the Ohio State University. I spent 20 years there. So I think your purpose is like Toastmaster, making people easy to be an orator, right? To speak.
Yeah.
So one thing I know, I also this is very a good time to talk with you. One thing.
Sure.
I went to a Russian platform. One Chinese lady told me that the Russian has a platform. What he used to do is every day they have 15 questions, sometimes 20 questions. Okay. The guy who has a PhD, he's a Russian guy. The platform belonged to Russian engineer. So many people from India, Pakistan, Bangladesh, they used to come there, and the guy, he gives question. Each one has to answer one question. Number one. Everybody finishes, then number 2, number 3. People keep on coming, people leave, then come. The guy will be there for 6-7 hours asking questions. I joined, and it helped me when I was unable to speak out what I have in my mind. So gradually I learned that it's good. But what happened is that 2 things. One, when people speak incorrectly, there was nobody, right? Grammatically, or now you know that people have filler, just
Yes.
like I know, you know. Do you understand? Do you understand? So the filler that I heard one Bangladeshi guy, 2 minutes he was talking, you know, 7 times.
Mhm.
I didn't like that because that doesn't help. Of course, your fluency
Your fluency will
goes
not
up.
be that good.
Yeah, you're not that good. So
Yeah.
then the Russian guy was asking $1 donation and nobody gave, he closed. And then I started my platform, 4 people. Lily from China, she's in Paris, and then one Morocco guy and Italy. 4 people we started. Now we have 100 people, and I have 14 teachers, native
Wow.
and non-native teachers. So 35 countries people, about 100, but every day about 12 people join. Now, good thing about my platform as compared to Russian is that I have teachers. So when I have native teachers, they will tell you your American pronunciation is not like that.
That's
But
true.
when they have non-native teachers, they tell you the grammar, idioms,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
idioms,
you're right.
right? So now this platform is really good because speaking English, right?
Yes.
Now, when we make mistake, we don't have anyone to correct it, right?
Yes.
So that's one weakness. I mean, I'm talking in real sense. I mean, it's good. We meet here and talk in English. Now we are talking, right?
Yes.
So yeah. So in my platform also, I have the same issue. I tell that we are here to improve our spoken English. And Lily, the coordinator, she loves grammar. So when the teacher doesn't show up, she brings grammar app and spend 30 minutes. So there are multiple questions. It looks like similar, but they don't have the same meaning. And then I did something like that, similar, but it's difficult for us. But she teaches. But I tell them that grammar we can study by ourselves, but spoken English, you need to have someone to practice and someone needs to guide. So that's what I'm trying now. 2 things in my platform. 2
Is
big
it-
weakness. Yeah.
So sorry to cut you off. Is it paid or how? Your platform?
Free.
It's free. Oh wow, great.
My son paid $150 each year. So that's Zoom, you know what we
Yeah,
use.
same. This group also I pay for the Zoom about $50. Same. Actually, I
okay.
pay for $30 because I ran for the not the 51, but I think I got $30.
But in America, it's $150 and it went down to $89. But
Oh really? Wow, expensive.
Yeah. So my son said he's willing to pay because what we did in the beginning, we spent 40 minutes. Everybody goes out and then send the link again and goes back. That's not fun, right? So we did that in the beginning, and then once we bought, now we have, my son pays for every year, so we are running that. So it's free, and I have 2 big problems. One problem is that our regular class starts at 2:30 daytime. So 2:30 means 1:30 a.m. in Jakarta.
Okay.
That doesn't help. So people from Philippines, Indonesia cannot join. That's why I moved Saturday, Sunday to morning, 9 o'clock. So 9 o'clock means 8 o'clock in Indonesia right now. So we have people from Indonesia. So Saturday, Sunday. We also added on Friday evening in Jakarta. What happened is that we have Eid, and Ramadan. Before Ramadan, people join, and after Ramadan, people stop because your schedule, everything messed up, and then people stopped coming.
Yes.
I'm still willing to add one more day, 3 days, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, 8 o'clock in Indonesian time. That way people at least can join 3 days a week. Right now, people can join 2 days a week. Yeah, one is that, one is timing. Other one is that all the levels in one group.
Yeah.
PhD students, master students, right? And beginners, like today we have some children who are beginners. They are all together. That doesn't help because beginners are very shy to speak and it doesn't help them.
That's
So
true.
I'm trying to have separate class for the beginners. And luckily I got one teacher who used to teach American literature.
Wow.
Now I am sure that she will, because a retired person may have other friends who are retired. So if she brings some people, what I will do is I will same class send people to the breakout room, those who have low levels, and then I will also add, either Monday or Tuesday evening time in Jakarta. That way people can join. One of the teachers from Dr. Huang from Vietnam, she used to sleep. She used to sleep until 11:30, wakes up, join my class from 12 to 1, and then goes to sleep. And that's why I moved my class, because it's not fair.
Sorry, everyone. I was talking to Mr. Joshi too, but the time's just finished very quick. Thank you very much, Mr. Joshi, for
Thank you.
sharing. Okay, so now we begin our second session. Yeah, so with the different partner, obviously. Okay, so I will recreate. We have 19 divided by 2. 10. Okay. Okay. Just a moment. All right. Yeah. Let me repeat. Let me read the your partner. Please tell me if you already with the same partner. In room 1, there will be Mr. Agung and Miss Haura. In room 2, there will be Miss Kia and Mr. Nabil. In room 3, there will be Miss Natadwi and Mr. Joshi. In room 4, I think there will be Miss Aisha together with me because you're alone there. In room 5, there will be Mr. Kaifa and Mr. Mad. In room 6, Miss Irene already. Mr. Mad with Mr. Kaifa?
No. I just say yes.
Oh, okay, cool.
Final.
In room 6, there will be Miss Irene and Miss Mami Malona. Room 7, Miss Teona Aisha and Mr. Torik. Room 8, there will be Mr. Herdi and Miss Zizi. Room 9, there will be Miss or Mr. Gazia with Miss Henning. And room 10, there will be Mr. Febri with ... I don't know who's that. Oh, that's Altamis. Altamis, why don't you know your name? That's Altamis. Sorry. No.
Dudes.
Okay, no worries. Okay, so Altamis with Mr. Febri, yeah. So you will be in the breakout room for the last 15 minutes. And this is I will open the room, please. Okay, fine. Hi, Miss Aisha.
Hello, Mr. Dennis. Sorry, I can open my camera because
also
my
cannot
internet
open my
connection
camera.
is really bad.
Yeah, I also cannot open my camera. I'm sorry, I'm using my avatar. So how are you doing?
But I want to ask.
Yeah. What do you want to ask?
How do you make your? But you off cam, but how get any animation on your?
You need to go to video. Do you have any video there? There is a button of video. Yes, stop video.
Oh, yes.
And then you go to select. There will be an option about choose avatar. Can you find it?
Oh. Wait.
And you can make your own, or you can use the animals. I already made my own. So
I just discovered this
You just discover, yeah,
feature.
yeah.
Yeah.
I've been using Zoom for quite a long time, so I know how to
Mhm.
do it.
So I'm fine, but I feel exhausted recently
Exhausted?
because
Mhm.
sorry,
Because?
I can hear you well.
Yeah, I can hear your voice because.
Oh,
Hello.
because
Uh-huh.
I applied to organization, but I
Oh.
didn't make it.
Oh, what
So
organization did you join?
in my campus, like
Yeah, what is it? BEM? No?
no, it's like international organization that we accompany the international students.
Oh, AISEC? No?
No, the name is UI Body Club.
Wow. Oh,
Universitas
e-body
Indonesia Body Club.
club. Nice,
Yes,
nice,
yes.
nice. Right. What semester are you in, Miss Aisha?
I'm going to third semester.
Third semester,
Oh,
yeah.
I'm in third semester right now.
You are the third now. When I was in your age, I also joined the international community or international club. The name is IAAS. IAAS it stands for International Association of Agricultural and Related Sciences. Because
So your major is related to agricultural?
yes,
or no?
my major I was from agricultural engineering actually, from IPB.
Oh,
Yeah.
it's like engineering faculty?
Yes,
Or
specifically for agriculture. So I learned how to ride tractor. I learned about machine. Unfortunately, I hate it. I didn't really like it.
It seems difficult for me because I'm in language.
Oh, you're in language?
Division.
What language are you? What's your major again?
My major is Chinese studies.
Oh,
So
Chinese. Yeah.
it's like involved in many language.
Yeah, you know what? When I was in your age, I actually wish I could enter international relations, HI, you know.
Oh, in FISIP. Yes.
Yeah, I wish I could go
I
there.
also want to join to register
enter.
in there, but
What happened?
many
What happened to
people-
you? Why you
It's too
didn't?
many people. What?
Why you didn't apply at the end?
Oh,
Why
because
you didn't register?
the scores requirement is so high, and
Yeah.
many people want to
go
enter
there.
that major.
I see. Yeah.
I can compete with them. So
Yes. I didn't go to the international relations because the money, it's quite expensive to go to UI in my year.
The UKT is so expensive.
At that moment, there was no UKT, but each semester we need to pay in my year. So.
Oh, it's different like from UKT?
Different than today, yeah. So we need to pay per credits per SKS.
Oh, because you're in swasta?
No, I was from IPB. IPB Bogor.
IPB, I forget.
Back then, before BHMN. You know BHMN?
For SKS, not per semester.
Yeah, not per semester. Yeah, they have semester and they have the SKS too. So
double payment?
Double payment at that moment. But not as high as UKT at that moment. So it's like an average. Yeah.
Still
lower.
The UKT is still expensive.
Yeah, I would
More
say
expensive.
at that moment, Alhamdulillah, I got scholarship to IPB. So I didn't pay anything. So
it's so hard to apply to scholarship because it requires many things, like you must in organization, and recently I didn't have joined any organization, so it's hard for me to apply scholarship.
Yeah, you're right. Organization was one, but besides organization, GPA is also important.
Yeah, but my GPA is average, so I still confident because it's not too low.
Good luck. You still have a long journey, right? You still have a semester now.
So do you know IISMA?
Oh yeah, I know. I have my students going there, joining the ISMA. It's in the 7th semester, right? 5th or 7th?
Six semester in
Sixth
my
semester.
uni.
Are you going to apply for it?
Deep down in my heart, I want to join but it's so expensive, like the ELTS test and so many things to
Oh,
apply
the
that.
IELTS, you mean? The
Yeah,
IELTS. Ah, yeah.
IELTS and TOEFL, like that.
Yeah.
It's like a scholarship, but it's later. They give the money later after we accepted into the uni, so we need to pay with
Yeah.
our money first.
But it's actually a good program if I must compare to
Yes.
mine. I mean, in university, I went to Mexico in 2009 when I was in IPB. But at that moment, it's not the program like ISMA where you actually got money from the government, right?
It's different.
Different. I went there for the Congress and I needed to find my own funding
Yes.
at the time. So,
so they didn't give the funding, not
No.
from
No, I went from one company to another company until finally Dicty helped me. Dicty gave me funding about but it's not covering everything. That's why your year it's actually great. I actually got I went to US in 2005 when I was in senior high school. I joined the exchange student. So it's similar like ISMA. ISMA is also exchange, right? For 1 year, if I'm mistaken.
Yes, 1 semester, not 1 year.
1 semester. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, I went. I got my. I mean, I stay in US in 2005 when I was still in when I was still in senior high school. So that's why I could speak English. Previously, I couldn't speak English.
And the living cost is high in there.
Fortunately, I got full scholarship. So
it's fully funded.
Fully funded when I went to US. I lived there for a year. I lived with a host family, and I studied in senior high school there. So.
It's not in your college.
Not in my college degree. No, it was. If you've ever heard
in senior high
AFS,
school.
AFS, yes. That's the program that I had. American Field Service Youth Exchange Student, Kennedy Lugar. That's the program that I got when I was in senior high school.
So you delayed your graduate?
Yes. So I finished my senior high school for 4 years because in my
you get my you get my experience, so it didn't matter.
Yeah, it's right. If I never been to US, I never become a teacher. I mean, I don't even know how to speak English. So.
That's why your English is so good. Like,
but it's a long journey. It's a long journey. Like, it's not like instant that I studied yesterday and I become fluent like today. No, it's a long journey. And
because I think in our society, speaking English is like quite shameful because
that's true.
Like they keep mocking us. Like it's actually quite shameful for me. And yeah, my people is not like speaking English in daily, so it's hard for me to developing my English skills.
Yeah, that's why one of the reason why I initiated this speaking practice group is to make people having having a group or community where they can talk to each other.
A community. Yes.
And when I was in IPB, I joined, like I told you before, the organization, so I could still keep up my English when I was in IPB.
Yes, that's my main reason why I want to join the organization. But yeah, I can make it. So.
But it's not. I mean, like, it's fine to be. I mean, if I were you, I would also feel
sad, like
right. I just want to tell you, Aisha. Now I already got my bachelor degree, but I wish I could continue my master degree. I haven't got my master degree yet, and
so you're only in bachelor right now.
So far. And I tried scholarship for master degree, when I was in bachelor degree, I got 2 scholarships when I was in bachelor degree.
Mm.
But now,
Oh.
because um, because when I was in university, unfortunately, I was too busy with my organization. I was too busy.
Oh yeah, yeah.
So
Many
my
people busy and their academic
my
sometimes.
academic
So
dropped.
yeah.
So
Yes, yes.
I really regret because my GPA was only my GPA was only 2.95.
Wow.
So it's
It's
0.05
lower
again.
than 3. Yes.
Yeah, it's lower than 3,
Oh.
and most of the requirements, going abroad, having
Yes.
job as a civil servant or a government officer.
Mm.
If IELTS, you can just take it again and again as soon as you have
Yeah.
money.
If we
But
file it, we can take it again.
my GPA, can I go back to
Yes,
my
it can
university and
repeat.
ask, please change my D into C,
Mm.
or change my E? No, I don't have any E. Change my C into B, let's say.
Yes, yes.
And yeah, and I already got failed for 4 times so far for my scholarship.
Oh.
So
But do you think it's more difficult to apply for master degree scholarship or bachelor scholarship, in
I'm
your opinion?
and in
What's
my
more
opinion, because
difficult here?
probably when I was in bachelor degree,
Yes.
I got scholarship. Besides my achievement, I also was in a poor
Mm.
academic situation at that
Oh
moment.
yeah.
Sorry, not poor academic, poor financial condition.
Oh.
So that's why I got scholarship.
So you
But
like also working in your bachelor back then?
I did. I sold
Oh.
molen. Do you know molen? Pisang
Oh yeah,
molen.
the banana, like
The banana, yeah,
filling.
the
Yes, yes.
banana covering with the flour. I
Yes,
sold
yes.
it every morning.
Oh.
So yeah, to get my money because
So your parents like not paying your UKT or what?
my parents divorced. So
Oh.
I live with my mom and my sister. And my sister
Mm.
told me that you should find scholarship because I will not pay
Mm.
for your study,
Yeah.
she said.
So we can say like you stand both on your own feet, the
Uh,
idea.
yeah, you're right.
Like you pay your own UKT and like find the money from yourself, like the
Yes.
parents didn't give you.
Actually, I got scholarship for paying the UKT, but for my monthly or my weekly or
Yes.
my daily, I was selling things for
So
any.
you're like it makes your financial better from working, right?
Yeah,
From
kind of.
selling the things.
Yeah, it's actually also sharpen up my mentality because you
Yes.
know after you graduate, in my opinion, the most challenge is when you graduate. I mean, what do
Yes,
you want to
because
do?
you must to find work,
Yes,
like find your own money.
that's true. I
So
actually,
so your your bachelor years is like a hard journey for you. Is that
kinda,
right?
and I didn't like it.
Yeah.
I didn't
Yeah.
like it, but I
It
didn't
seems so
want.
hard only imagining it.
Actually, because first also because I didn't study well.
Oh yeah, that's the reason.
I'm a rebellion. I mean, if I don't like my lecturer, I won't listen to the lecturer. I better to
So you
sleep.
also don't like the lesson, right?
Yeah,
I also like that.
yeah. I mean, like, if you have fun class, then enjoy it. But if your
Yes, I also
lecturer is
think.
so, I'm your lecturer, you need to follow me.
Yes, the killer lecture, I didn't like it, and it makes my score is like in that lesson C because I don't like the teacher. I
That's
did.
true.
Yes.
If you're in engineering, most lecturers
Oh.
are like that.
Oh yeah, engineering is like the hardest faculty. Like many people say that.
Yeah, it depends. I mean, like, it's also because yeah, I was just I supposed to enter the English department
Yes.
probably. I don't know, but it's just
But you from IPA or IPS in your
science. I was
high
from
school degree?
science. I
Oh.
was from science. All right, everyone. I'm sorry, it's already 9:05. Probably before we find a new speaker and new moderator, Mr. Joshi, would you mind to say something for the last? To recap what you already said earlier, like a few words probably, please.
Yeah, I can say something. I mean, I'd like to thank the organizer and the attendees who joined my class, but I know that this topic is not easy to understand. So we should keep on working on it. And once we get the results, good results, it will be very helpful to be a good supervisor. And you guys want to join our English class, I already put my number there. You can contact me, and I have English class on a regular basis, 7 days a week, every day 90 minutes, and I have teachers, American, British, and Indonesian teachers. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Joshi, for saying good things to us. So what we're going to do next, we're going to appoint new speaker and new moderator. It's supposed to be Brother Altamis, but Brother Altamis told me that he can't do it for next week because he has the class. But I've heard that Mr. Herdy, you want to be the speaker for next week, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yay! So it means that we don't need to find the speaker anymore. But it turns out that Miss Haura also can be the. Oh yes, we will. I will share the WhatsApp group, Miss Sri, because after this I will also introduce new participants here because some of you are new. But before that, that's okay. It reminds me of the new participants because some new participants are here. Before we choose the new moderator, let's introduce some new members first. I see some names that I am not familiar with. The first one is Miss Nata Dwi. Is this the first time for you to join this group, Miss Nata Dwi?
No, it's actually my second time.
You joined. When did you join When did you join for the first time?
Well, it's about 1 month ago.
A month ago. So
Yeah.
this is the second time for you, yeah?
Mhm.
Have you already introduced yourself at that time?
Yeah, I already.
Already. Okay. Thank you very much, Miss Nata Dwi. Hopefully you can join anytime to our group. And then we also have Miss Sri. Miss Sri, is this the first time for you?
Yes, it is the first time for me, Mr.
Okay.
Denny, joining this group. Thank you
Great.
for having me here.
Sure, you're welcome. Would you mind introducing yourself and how do you know our community from?
Okay, my name is Sri, or you can call me Prapti. It's okay for you. And then I'm from East Java, Regency, Pasuruan Regency.
Okay.
And then I know this group from my friend who shared the links of the discussion. And then I tried to click the Zoom.
Okay. And then you just join us, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because I'm interested to join this group.
That's cool. Hopefully you may join our group anytime, and I will share the link. Yeah. So thank you very much, Miss Sri. We also have Miss or Mr. Gazia. How do I call you? Miss or Mr. or brother or sister?
It's Miss, sir.
Sister is sister.
Oh, that's Altami's sister?
No, sir.
Oh, you have to account. See,
No.
Altamis, if you actually have.
No, that's not my account.
That's not your account.
friend.
You show your face so I know who you are. Okay, I'm sorry then. Miss Gazia, Mr. Gazia, are you there?
Yes.
Okay. Miss Gazia, is this the first time for you to join this group? Would you mind introducing yourself and telling us how do you know this community from?
My name is Gazia.
And you know this from?
Nabil.
Oh, from Nabil. Nabil is your friend?
Yeah. Same as Zizi.
Also Zizi. Okay. Thank you, Gazia, for joining us in this group and community. Okay. After Gazia, we also have Mr. Agung Prayoga. Mr. Agung, this is the first time I know you joined this session. So could you please
Yes,
introduce
Mr.
yourself,
Dennis.
please?
Okay, thank you, Mr. Dennis. Invite me this Zoom.
Yes.
I'm interested to join this Zoom, and I want to learn with this community. And everyone, my name is Agung Prayoga. You can call me Agung. Thank you, Mr.
Thank you very much, Mr. Agung. Okay. Oh, there's also the information from Mr. Joshi. Yeah. So if you're interested to join the English class with him, you can join his class as well. Okay. Besides Mr. Agung, who else on? Miss Teona Aisha. Is this the first time for you to join this, Miss Teona Aisha?
The second time.
Second time. And you already introduced yourself last time? Have you?
Yes.
Okay. Thank you, Miss Tiana Aisha. Miss Zizi, it's your name was mentioned by Brother Nabil. So can you introduce yourself? Zizi? I can see your avatar. I had my avatar before, but now I turn on my camera. So can you please introduce yourself, Zizi?
Yes. My name is Dizzy and I'm 12 years old. This is my second time.
Oh, this is your second time? Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
And I get the link.
Okay.
And I get the link from Nabil.
From Nabil as well. Okay, thank you very much, Azizi. How about Kia? Kia, is that your friend also, Nabil?
Yes.
You bring
Zizi.
awesome. Okay, so could you please introduce yourself, Kia?
Okay. Hello, my name is Kia. I'm from Indonesia, of course. I live in city of Bandung.
You live in Bandung.
Yeah.
Okay, very nice. Okay, glad to join us, Kia.
Yeah.
And then I just want to share about if you want to join our WhatsApp group, you also can join because some Miss Sri asked me about that. So you can join this WhatsApp group, but in this WhatsApp group, we are not talking much, even though it's speaking practice group, but we have the group when we have the meeting, which is once a week. And this group is free, so you may invite anybody. You may also join Mr. Joshi class because Mr. Joshi has some native speakers on it as well. And then who else that? We have Mr. Tariq, Miss Haura, Miss Henning, Mr. Atamis, Mr. Nabil, Mr. Matt, Mr. Kaifa, Mr. Herdi, Miss Aisha as well. Okay, so before we finish the sessions tonight, because next week the speaker will be Mr. Herdi, does anybody want to be a moderator? I throw this to the floor. Yes.
Bukannya Haura udah jadi ya?
Supposed to be, but Haura said that she can't. So that's why I need to find another person. So anybody wants to be the moderator? Miss Haning, do you want to be the moderator? Because have you become the moderator, Miss Haning? You became the presenter. I'm sorry, you still mute yourself, Miss Haning.
Yeah, I have a moderator when the presenter is Miss Iren.
Oh, yeah, right. Do you want to be another moderator again? I'm just asking. You can say no if you don't want it.
It's okay.
It's okay to be yes.
Yes.
Great. So you'll be Mr. Herdi moderator for next week. Thank you very much for your willingness. Okay. So we already get the new speaker. We already get the new moderator. So thank you very much. Let's take the last group picture. So if you can turn your camera on once again, we're gonna take a group picture. Okay. Let's take a group picture. 3, 2, and 1. Okay. Thank you very much, everyone, and have a great night.
Thank you.
Have a great day for Mr. Joshi in US.
Good night.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Goodbye.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Thank you.